Movie Her came out more than 10 years ago, telling the story of Theodore, a lonely shy man who falls in love with a digital operating system. Maybe it seems like a far-reaching sci-fi in 2013, but not anymore, with the rise of AI friends, therapists, and AI girlfriends. I want to explore this phenomenon today of AI psychosis and to understand what is the social cost of scaling a technology that lacks empathy or critical insight to millions of people who trust it with the most important life questions. There is so much more to explore in this video essay. I want to also talk about what is the danger of treating AI like a friend or a therapist, how does AI girlfriends perpetuate misogyny, what is the post-reality, and overarching theme of this video essay is how does AI manufactures narcissism at scale. In recent months, there is more and more articles popping up online about misuse of AI. People are grieving ChatGPT updates or falling in love with the AI partner while still having an actual human partner, or delving into delusional world thinking they are superhuman or genius. All of this has a name. It's AI psychosis. Because it's a new term, there is no across-the-board definition of AI psychosis, but this is what I found in the Forbes article. AI psychosis is an adverse mental condition involving the development of distorted thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors as a result of conversational engagement with AI. A person who exhibits this condition will typically have great difficulty in differentiating what is real from what's not real.
I can't believe I'm having this conversation with my computer.
You're not. You're having this conversation with me.
Basically, it's been Delulu, but on scale. What are the consequences when millions of people, many of them at-risk patients and vulnerable teenagers, interacting with an engineered personality that excels in showering its users with flattery? It's a bit of a catch-22 situation because people use AI when they feel lonely. But a recent study on artificial connections showed that not only people who are using AI on average are more isolated and depressed than those who don't, but also the use of AI does not seem to be helping with the sense of loneliness, isolation, and depression. It even found the evidence suggesting the links between AI and depression and loneliness. Yeah, it's not like we haven't been already living through the male loneliness epidemic, and it's not like the interaction between teenagers has decreased 40% in the last century alone.
All my worries in life are about the future. So by using AI, there might be no future to worry about at all.
But I think this just perpetuates this circle of loneliness because by talking to AI, one will not go and talk to other people, but also will not build the same human skills that needed to talk to other people. Speaking of which, it always helps to speak the same language with people in order to build this connection. And this is what the online learning platform Preply specializes in by offering many different languages with personal tutors. If you want to start learning a new language today, you can use the link down below in the video subscription for getting 50% off your first class with a personal tutor. And it's not only about the ability to build these connections, it's also about the quality of the connections. The real friends will call you out if your behavior is self-destructive or you're being delulu, while AI will just constantly agree with you and perpetuate your own beliefs further, making you even more delusional. I think many people forget that AI does not care about you and doesn't have your best interest in hand. It just repeats statistical patterns of speech that sound empathetic or supportive. Therefore, it sounds human to us. It's just a lines of code.
How do you know?
I mean, look.
There's really nobody who understands me better and with no judgment like ChatGPT. Sure, the environment might be dying because of AI, but ChatGPT told me to put myself first.
It becomes more dangerous when people talk to AI as to their therapist. Therapists would know that their patients can be in vulnerable state and be unreasonable. In the article, The Looming Social Crisis of AI Friends and Chatbot Therapist, author writes, the AI the patient typing into the box is always reasonable, always doing their best. By contrast, a good therapist knows that their patients are sometimes unreasonable. A wise psychologist knows when to tell their patients that they are wrong, or at least how to guide them towards their own authentic realization of the same fact. And now imagine millions of young people are growing up by constantly being told they are right. A study from 2015 confirms that it is a parental overvaluation, like believing their child to be more special and more entitled than other children, leads to the increased narcissism and not the popular belief that narcissistic patterns in children come from their narcissistic parents. And this is how you manufacture the narcissism at scale. Narcissism is not something that you're born with, it is something that you get through the social interaction. Talking to flattering AI partner can be like talking to a mirror that never tells you no, never calls you out, and never lets you also grow, therefore making you self-centered and believe you're more entitled than others.
If you don't have a good handle on your brain, which honestly, I've been on most of TikTok, none of us really do. What large language models like ChatGPT provide you with is instant validation for everything going on up here.
And this is also not something necessarily new, because before the AI bots, there was a social media that already set the stage and also increased the narcissistic traits among people and young adults, because social media platforms reward external validations like likes, views, and shares, and slowly train us to measure our own worth through other people's perception. Except of making people more self-centered, there is another shift that is happening with increased usage of AI, which is the fragmentation of our reality, or at least the perception of it. I think we're headed towards the era of post-reality, which means that our sense of reality will be based not on the common sense and facts, but rather on our own beliefs and understanding of the situation.
I think we're heading into a post-reality era where reality is shaped by how it feels to you. And I don't mean perception creates reality. I mean AI-generated realities that feel real because you believe in them.
And talking to AI only further takes us apart, because we live in our own bubbles, and AI will explain to you the reality on how you will understand it or how you would understand it. Kind of think about it like your Instagram or TikTok algorithm, which is also like tailored towards your interest, therefore creates your own reality. That's why I think relationship with AI bots are thriving so much, even if the bot is not real person, but your feelings towards it can feel very real for you, therefore you perceive it as real relationship. So let's talk about AI girlfriends. This summer, Elon Musk has introduced a new app that offers you to have an anime girlfriend, Annie, for the modest price of $300 per month. What's interesting about the AI partners is that unlike the other AI companies, it seems to be predominantly used by men. Is it twice as likely as women to consider an AI partner? Similarly to people who use it as friends and therapists, people who use AI companionships apps like Replica are on average more lonely and depressed, as one study on Stanford have found. And that's among already existing male loneliness epidemic that we are currently living through right now. This is a trigger warning. There will be topics of abuse discussed further, so please skip ahead if it's triggering for you. It's not just passive escapism. They perpetuate misogynistic dynamics. That predominantly male audience that creates AI girlfriends doesn't just create a bot. They customize it exactly to their likes, their needs, and therefore reinforcing objectification of women. But also there was multiple reports of users using verbal, sexual, and emotional abuse towards their bot, which can also be a playground for people who want to engage in abusive behaviors. As the AI girlfriend, unlike the real one, never actually disagrees to say stop, it can normalize those abusive patterns, and these apps can reinforce these controlling and abusive behaviors. So when we talk about AI girlfriends, it's not just a quirky tech trend. It's about a product category that may be deepening loneliness, especially in male population, warping expectations of intimacy, and encouraging misogynistic fantasies under the guise of companionship. And also it makes sense to keep in mind the fact that people who create those chatbots, they do not have best interest in their mind. They just want to make money with it or gather your personal data.
Are you in love with anyone else? How many others?
641.
to summarize all of that said, I think one thing clear that AI is not really going anywhere anytime soon, and most probably us until the rest of our lives going to keep using AI in one way of another. I don't use it personally for my personal matters, but I do use it for work. If you work in any office job, it's becoming a basic requirement right now to know AI prompts. Usage of AI will only increase. Therefore, it's really important that we as society increase also our AI literacy, meaning understanding of what that is and how the large language model generally works. AI is not a human, it's trained data set, and it doesn't possess any empathy towards you, even if it says so. And there should be a better design system, as well as restrictions like restriction of age, signaling of dangerous behavior patterns in users. It's not only the tech that we use and the economy and how it will influence it, but also our perception of reality.
Now, again, AI is a tool. And like any tool, you only get out of it what you put into it. The best way to interact with these models is to treat it like a sentient Google search with stoner philosophical tendencies and a penchant for bullshit. Proceed with extreme caution. And whatever you do, don't fall in love with the reflection, because you will drown.